Hello, Pixel Exile, and we are back again, having a friendly chat about the worst thing in the world, censorship.
I was going to say
You
your
say
mother,
that?
but hey.
Hey, don't say that. I'll censor it.
Beep.
Yeah, you censor that out with our metal blades. But no, okay, so maybe not the worst thing in the world, but the censorship's gotten out of control.
I think, yeah. Even
a lot of
over
cases.
here, even over here in little old New Zealand. So yeah, in coming from the government's trying to control my mind files.
Conspiracy nuts.
Yeah, exactly. The game Galgun Double Peace has been banned in New Zealand.
So
Well,
you
I mean-
cannot buy it at all.
I cannot buy it at all. Well, I don't know. I can't buy it as far as I've worked out. I can't buy it locally. I can't buy it on Steam. Apparently, it's illegal
Legally.
to import it, but it might be available on one website that I go to buy cheaper games that are shipped over here.
Wouldn't that count as importing?
Kind of, but obviously they've found some way around it. Basically, so we have it's called the official name is the Office of Film and Literature Classification, which is basically what do you guys call it over there?
The ESRB?
That's the one. Yeah, ours is called
Entertainment Software Rating Board.
Yeah, ours is called the OFLC. Because
And,
every important government department has to be like initials rather than the actual name of it.
Yeah, well, I think the Japanese, theirs is called CERO, CERO, Computer Entertainment something something. And I know that the one in the UK is PEGI,
Yep.
because sometimes when I watch
Peggy 15.
trailer videos, PEGI 15, PEGI 18. Hey, PEGI's legal.
Yeah.
Peggy ruined King of the Hill.
But yeah, our one does it does films, books, and games, so it's all under one department. But basically, the reason it was banned was because basically
Guns?
No, not even that. I mean, we've got Call of Duty, we've got any gun game is fine over here. Because apparently you shoot pheromones at schoolgirls, and they take some clothing off sometimes.
So it's a very Japanese game.
It's a very Japanese game. The too long didn't read version of it is because here it goes. It tends to promote and support both the exploitation of children and young persons, and the use of coercion to compel a person to submit to sexual conduct. Yeah, apparently. I mean, I've seen a YouTube video of it. It's pretty fucking tame.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for it.
One of those weird Japanese fluff games that you see.
Yeah, because I mean, definitely there's a cultural difference there. They have, I mean, watching anime and stuff. There's, always the schoolgirl outfits all over the place and whatever. But the thing that I get about is like, this sounds like another one of those cases of you play this game, you're going to do bad things. Like, you play Grand Theft Auto, you're going to go steal cars and shoot people.
Of course.
You play Super Mario, you're going to step on turtles. You play Final Fantasy, you're going to become really, really pretty and maybe not have that much depth, but still be really pretty.
And then
I can confirm that's a lie.
Yeah,
well,
I think we can
run
all
around
confirm that's a lie.
And go into people's houses and steal their shit.
Yeah.
So wait, you're telling me if I play The Legend of Zelda, it's acceptable that I can just go around and break people's pottery? It's cool.
Yeah, cut the grass.
Totally fine. Yeah, it's because I can understand putting in like an adult, like if they really wanted to go that far, put an adult rating on the game and being adults only. Because the one thing these people need to realize is the market's more. It's not the 1990s anymore.
No.
Back when when our government over here, when they were having the meetings and all that shit, and they were talking about the ESRB. There's one guy on YouTube, I watched his video, he does a great history on it, the gaming historian. And just going back and watching that, because I mean, I lived through that, but also I didn't know a lot of the behind the scenes at the time because I was a kid. I was more concerned about, I was like, well, I want to play Mortal Kombat. My mom sat down and had a talk with me, and she's like, well, you can't really rip people's heads off. Yeah, I know, Mom, that's mean. That's, murder. It's just a video game. Okay, well, here's your game. You obviously are mature enough to understand, go out and rip people's spines out.
I got that too. Yeah, they're like, this stuff isn't real, right? I'm like, yeah, it's just a game. I'm not going to go out and like fucking slaughter everyone that I see.
Yeah, and Sega, the guy that represented Sega, again, I don't remember all their names and stuff, but he was saying like the demographic for people that owned a Sega Genesis or Mega Drive to New Zealanders and everyone else that's not American.
Europeans.
Yeah, Europeans and Japanese as well. But they're like, our demographic is actually mostly older teens. And Howard, or I think that was his name, the guy who worked at Nintendo, he was pushing so hard for like, Sega shouldn't even make these games. Games are only for kids. Nintendo would never do this. And then it like came to light that like the guys at Nintendo provided whoever with a tape of all the like worst scenes from Night Trap, basically setting them up to, it's like, and back in the day I was like a Nintendo kid, now I'm just like, wow, my team was a dick.
Yeah, I think, I remember hearing about it. Yeah, there was a whole lot of, apparently, even, that was the big console war in inverted commas back then, the Nintendo versus Sega. And yeah, even
we had. No, go ahead.
I was just saying, even from what I hear, also in those like hearings and stuff, there was still they were firing shots at each other back and forth.
Yeah, like now we have like people will debate like PC mustard rice or PS4 or go to hell X boner, shut up Sony pony. But back then the companies were doing it too.
Oh yeah.
Like now it's like again, I'm Phil Spencer, he's all like, no, we own an Xbox, we own a PS4, my kids play both, we should all just get along. Like, the companies are like, no, we're in the business, but back then, go to hell, Sega.
Yeah. So,
but it sounds like it's a repeat of that. It's, you play this game, you're going to go, and I don't know, it seems like a touchy subject to get onto, but I personally don't believe that games encourage anybody to do anything.
No.
And the people that would be, or the people that are interested in doing those terrible things that they think are...
I mean, there's already
they're already
mentally unstable already, so... Yeah, I mean, there's not... I mean, I've been looking... been doing a bit of research on it, and I mean, there's been a few games we've banned, but a lot of them were banned quite a while ago, like Manhunt and Manhunt 2 were banned over here. Postal 2... There's a game called Rape Lay.
That one, I think, that's... Yeah, I've heard about that one. I think that's banned in, like, quite a few places. I think that might actually be banned in America. I know it's banned on Twitch for sure.
Well, yeah. Like, have you seen that game, Josh?
No.
I have seen screenshots of, like, text dialogue, but I think if America were to go all out and ban any game, it would be one with rape in the title.
I don't think so. Reservoir Dogs... Apparently, basically the same reason that Manhunt was banned, and Three Sisters Story, which I've never heard of, but I'm just going to click on the link now. It's a weird anime game from it was released in 1996. It's one of those visual novels.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was one I was thinking, another one I was thinking about. I was going to ask, but no, I can't remember the title. But also, like, I don't know. I feel like there is a market for these games. People who are over the age of 18 should be able to, especially, like, because this New Zealand banned it, or New Zealand and Australia. It's Den and I can buy the game.
I don't even know if Australia banned it, to be fair. Let's have a look.
Really? Because
I've got a list of banned games in Australia.
Because Australia is the kind of country where, like, we're going to ban Tetris because blocks triggered the dingoes or something. I don't know.
Blocks inserting into other blocks, it's clearly penetration.
It's not on the list in Wikipedia.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just us.
So, yeah, but just, I mean, crap, there were Atari porn games, and we can all agree that Custer's Revenge was pretty, like, I don't know about this, Native Americans were pissed off, women were pissed off, other people were pissed off. But then there are other games like Beat 'em and Eat 'em. They're just like adult party games. Basically, you're all a bunch of like 21 plus people sitting around. Oh, let's play this stupid little Atari game that's super pervy, and we're all going to have a giggle. I honestly feel there's a market. And
it's just really strange because, I mean, if you compare our two countries in terms of... I'm just trying to think how to put it. How much we actually give a shit about some stuff, we give far less of a shit than than America does about most things.
Except gun laws. I want to point that out.
Yeah, but that's because we don't feel there's any need for guns over here.
Yeah, but also for America, guns are a huge part of our culture.
Yeah.
I mean,
over here, not so much.
But before the regulars came, it was like, it's like, hey, what's going to happen? Well, we've been living on our colonies, and those regulars, they're gonna come over, and the king's gonna come over, and they're gonna take our land, and they're gonna take our guns. And I mean, before President Trump, what was it? Obama's gonna take our guns and take our, it's guns are very American. It's part of our history, is the right to bear arms. But that's a whole other thing. It just. I don't think Galgun should have been banned. It seems silly to me. Like I've seen the trailer. It looks like just a tame game. I don't even see how somebody could get, all excited about it. Like if I had it, I would play it for fun, and then I'd probably just laugh at it more than anything else. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's just strange. Yeah, when I saw it, I'm like, really? We banned a game? I mean, the last game we banned was Manhunt 2 in 2003.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while. I mean,
14 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's been games that we have seen changes made to because of Australia. Like for a long time, we were talking about this before, but. We didn't have an Australia didn't have an R18 rating over there, so a lot of games when they came through the system were just going to Australia, and they're like, no, we can't have that one because there's no R18 rating. You need to change it. Like, I suppose the big one is the South Park Stick of Truth, how they removed a whole bunch of scenes from that and replaced it with a sad koala.
That was funny. The fact that they did sad koala.
Yeah. But that was just before they got their R18 rating, so because of that, rather than, I don't know why, probably to save money, rather than rating it ourselves, we just said, we'll just take the Australian version and put an M15 on it.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, at least they're getting an R18 now, but even, it's also weird how, like, certain games, like, Galgun isn't banned in Australia. It's banned in New Zealand.
No, as far as I'm aware, it's not, no.
Not, as far as you're aware. Not banned in America. But also, like, we were talking about the ESRB earlier. One of the biggest reasons the ESRB came into existence wasn't just Night Trap, it was also Mortal Kombat. And a couple other games as well. Lethal Enforcer and stuff like that. Like I said, I went back and watched that guy's gaming historian's video. But Mortal Kombat 2, what a lot of people don't know is it was censored in Japan. They turned all the blood green, and when you do a fatality, the screen goes black and white. Like, it was really weird censorship. So Japan's like, I get, maybe even back then it's like, oh yeah, pheromones and schoolgirls, but well, you cut that guy's head off. Well, I don't know about that. Or over here in America, we censor a lot of sex, or like. I don't know, it like goes in waves. There's like a point where we don't censor sex because we want like everybody to be like, no, be open about sexuality, but then we want to censor violence, and then it shifts to where everybody wants to censor sex, but then nobody wants to censor violence anymore.
It's strange, yeah. Like, you guys are very against sex and a lot of stuff, yet violence is okay.
Terrible comedy, too. Like, I mean... To point out over here on Comedy Central, I mean, I might have brought this up in a previous one, or maybe just a random rambling, but every so often they show Clerks 2 on, like, Comedy Central, and occasionally, one scene where, was it Dante and whomever Dante and Randall are, like, fighting or something in the parking lot, and normally the scene would go, like, hey guys, hurry up and come on in. The fat dude's about to cornhole that ass.
With his wiener?
Yeah. And in the censored version, all you hear is, hey guys, the fat man's about to, that, with it, and that's all the movie is.
Yeah.
At least when they played Dogma, they would change the word because what he's actually supposed to say, the line in the movie is when the demon God, what is his name? The guy who played him. Crap, he played Brody. And
Chris
anyway,
Rock?
screw it. No. He played Brody in Mallrats. I want to say Jason something. Yet. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He plays a demon in Dogma, and the scene is he gets hit with an instrument of God, which is a golf club, and it breaks through him. And his actual line is, "But I'm a fucking demon," and they censor it to, "I'm a frickin' demon." Like at least they did some audio mixing there. No, censorship over here is weird. But there's also a cousin to censorship, which is outrage culture.
Yeah.
I think it's time to move on to that.
Yeah, well, that's the unofficial censorship of the interwebs.
Yeah, well, this concerns all of our favorite little dumpling. No, we're gonna get called racist. But May from Overwatch, she finally got a skin that wasn't just a recolor of her normal skin.
Is everyone mad she's Chinese?
No, apparently they knew that. Surprisingly, actually, there is some anger about the event. I'll get to that next. I'm mostly going to be quoting because the first time I heard about it was from an article on Heat Street by, and I'm sorry if I butchered his name, Ian Miles Chung. Sorry if I butchered it, but basically the article is fat activist furious that Overwatch character isn't fat enough, and so May got her new skin. And the belt around her waist made her waist look really tiny, which a lot of people at first were like, it makes sense because we've seen the artwork of her during the summer thing where she's playing ping pong, and she doesn't look overweight. She doesn't even really look that chubby. She looks like a very average, as in, someone who engages in regular exercise. Like she does a jog every morning kind of thing. But since it made her waist so tiny, and then in the back, you could tell like her back was actually kind of squished in too much because her butt stuck out like really far, and so they're like, oh, it looks like a botched Photoshop job. And people like Photoshop, like he says here, to vocalize their anger, they photoshopped images of May to look like how they think she should have been, and drawn terrible artwork of the characters to make her look 10 BMI points heavier. And and then Blizzard came out and said, well, it's a bug in the game. And then there was an argument. I got into a little bit of it on Twitter about, is it really a bug, or are they just saying it's a bug because they're scared of outrage culture? Because it does seem like Blizzard is pretty scared of the Tumblr tantrum at this point. And they apparently fixed the bug, and he's got an updated picture someone tweeted out. And here's the thing is, they filled in like her back, so it's not like squished in so much, but her butt still looks too big. Like it still looks like it's sticking out, so it doesn't really look like. The argument basically is there's, and I'm just going to call them Tumblr tots because that's generally what I call them. They're mad because they looked at May and they said, "Wow, May's overweight, May's fat," and everyone's like, "Not really. She's wearing a parka. She's in winter clothes. I don't think her feet are actually as big as her boots.
Yeah.
I don't think."
Doesn't she work in Antarctica normally?
Yeah, like that's like her whole backstory.
Yeah.
And then you look at some of her concept art, she's actually really skinny. She is busty, but in her concept art, she's pretty thin. And then if you just look at her leg, because her legs are kind of tight, she looks like she's, maybe got a little bit of, as some people call, the thick. But they were just, it's more of that outrage bullshit where we don't feel that video game characters are realistic if they have healthy bodies. If they're basically thin, they're not realistic. They need to be super obese like the rest of us. Body positivity, fat acceptance. And here's where I'm going to rage. I weighed over 300 pounds. I was super overweight. I've gotten down to 264. I'm still a big guy. I'm still overweight, but I'm doing what I can, working with my leg, flat feet and plantar, the issues I've had in my feet. You guys know about that and stuff. But I'm doing everything I can to, keep losing weight steadily and, get into better shape. But there's I will say it. I am still fat, and I hate fat acceptance. It's this whole idea of, oh, it's healthy, it's healthy. It's like, no, it's not.
No.
Some of the people who are like, when I think body positivity, I think people who've had breast cancer and had their breast removed, or people who lost limbs, or burnt. They almost died in a fire, so half their bodies burned. It should be for people like that, not people that won't stop eating Doritos like me. Because that's where I was at one point, where it's like, what am I having for dinner? I'm having 2 bags of Doritos because to hell with it.
Because why not?
And wash that down with a couple 2 liters of Dew or some Pepsi.
Yeah, just fuel up on Call of Duty power, basically. And that just, I don't get it. I've never agreed with it. I don't think you should be like completely, like, it's not like a thing to go out and just like be rude to people who are overweight, but this whole like just saying like, oh no, you're perfectly fine, why are you wheezing, why are you having your 3rd heart attack, or whatever that stuff is.
Isn't there like a thing though, like, fat acceptance should not be a thing, but maybe just try not being a dick once in a while?
What? Don't be a dick on the internet?
Oh, I'm sorry, I said dick. Censor me, bro. There, censored it. It's all good.
But anyway, I'll end that rant there because it's just going to go on forever. But the outraged warriors aren't just mad that May wasn't fat or chubby or whatever they thought she should have been, or she is now, or whatever. Let's see. Oh, where did I lose it? Yeah. Beyond outrage over a fit character not being morbidly obese, a few culture warriors are also upset over the new update for adding Chinese Year of the Rooster-themed outfits for many of the game's characters, including costumes inspired by Journey to the West. Activists were previously upset by Overwatch Halloween's costume, which they argued whitewashed several non-white characters by depicting them as pale-skinned vampires. At the end of the day, complaints over fiction, and that's about the end of the article. But yeah, I've seen some of the outrage over the Chinese Year thing, and it's like, it's the whole cultural appropriation. It's like, who doesn't care? The Chinese. Or Chinese Americans. Perfect example of this, we all have a friend, lives in Mexico. He's Mexican. He's about as Mexican as you can get. When King of Fighters 14 came out, there was people writing articles and pissing and moaning about the Mexican team, which are all characters from Mexico, being like either too stereotyped or too goofy, or their stage had sugar skulls parade things, and it's culture parade, it's stereotyping Mexicans. Who didn't care? Our friend that's actually a Mexican. Who threw a fit about it? 18-year-olds living off daddy's money going to universities in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that really gets me about it, is they're the only ones that care, and then they make this big stink, and then I can't get away from it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna log off Twitter because everybody's talking about this. I'm kind of done reading about it. I'm gonna open Facebook. Oh, look, people are talking about it here. Okay, I'm gonna, go into this online game. Oh, people are talking about it here. It's the whole thing's stupid. Just they throw a fit about every damn thing, and it kind of annoys me that, like, I'll give Blizzard the benefit of the doubt of the glitch thing or whatever, because her back looked in squished in pretty much, but I still think her butt looks like it's sticking out too much. But whatever. It's just, why? Why listen to these people that are never going to be happy? I'm pretty sure we're going to hear something about Ian is probably going to have to write something on Heat Street for the Valentine's Day event, because they're probably going to say something about, oh, these two characters can't be together. These two characters, my headcanon, everyone's gay.
And the Easter,
not just Tracy.
Whatever the Easter event is, they'll probably be like, oh, you can't fucking celebrate a Christian religious holiday.
That was the other thing, when they made Tracer gay.
Hey, guys.
And nobody cared. Hold on, just
guys,
almost finished. Oh, what?
My grandfather once told me a joke about Easter.
Okay.
Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Yes.
Why does the Easter Bunny hide his eggs?
Why?
He didn't want anyone to know he was having an affair with the chicken.
Oh, jeez. That was terrible. But no, just the last thing about it is when they came out with that comic and Tracer's gay or whatever, all the people, that I know play Overwatch and other people, it was either I don't care or hey, that's cool. Except for the outrage warriors who were outraging that there were no gay characters. Now outrage that the gay character is too attractive.
How dare a character in a video game be attractive? God forbid.
Like, oh, she's, it's just gonna make straight dudes more happy because she's hot. Wouldn't lesbians also be into hot women? I mean,
you think so?
You think there's? I mean, I can't speak for lesbians, but I would be actually shocked if there's not at least a handful out there that are like, yeah, Tracer, I'd get down with her. It just, that whole thing boggles my mind, and it's just getting a stranglehold on the industry, I think.
Well, aren't there's people who hate their lives so much that their sole amusement in life is to bitch. It's like, why? Yeah. Like, why do you feel the need to bitch about everything?
And then they bitch so much, and then we come across as hypocrites because now we're bitching about their bitching.
Bitching about the bitching.
Well, we don't go and bitch all the time about like you do. But...
yeah, I do. That's what I'm always.
I'm sure he doesn't find any joy in it though.
Like, I just want to imagine you like sit there with like your arms crossed all day, your cheeks puffed out, and you're like, nope, fuck that guy, I hate him. I'm sorry, I'm swearing a lot. I should stop. I mean, censor me, bro. Anyway, to continue.
Yeah, just that's the last piece I had was the May thing. The model still looks kind of weird to me. Her back filled in, like her actual back that separates her, the tank that her robot sits in, Snowball and stuff. Like there's not a weird space between it, but again, it still looks like her butt sticking out, like it's poofy. I don't know if that's a skirt, but just so mad. I mean. Okay, after this I'm done, I promise. But it's like, when they made Link right-handed, because see, I'm left-handed, and I grew up with left-handed Link, so I'm like, oh, that's cool, Link's left-handed, and I'm left-handed, that's, hey, that's neat. And then Twilight Prince comes out, and Link's right-handed. I didn't care! It's not like it was taken away from me. It's not like Link has to be a left-handed, also obese, brown hair, graying on the sides, weeb, for me to like the character. It's like, he's right-handed now? Cool, I don't give a shit. It was cool that he was left-handed before, like me. Now he's right-handed because most of the population's right-handed. Whatever.
And, I was pretty sure that the actual reason that happened is because something, they had to flip a version to make it actually work, but hey.
Well, it was using the motion controls, and most people are right-handed. So...
No, they fixed that in the GameCube version, though. That's the thing that I'd like. I myself did not play the Wii version. I had the GameCube version at the time. However, I didn't pay too much attention, which is unusual for me. But is he, in fact, left-handed in the GameCube version? Because remember, the Wii version is mirrored.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go.
But yeah, I'm out of gas. I'm out of fuel.
We're all raged out.
All raged out. I'm gonna go have to get my Mountain Doritos.
All right. Well, last.
What's the matter? Also, we can play Call of Duty then.
Yeah. Well, last thing before we go. So, in a very unlikely collaboration, Square Enix and Marvel are going to be working together to make an Avengers game. It's going to be made by the teams who did Lara Croft and Deus Ex.
Huh. Yeah, I saw the trailer for it, but it didn't really it just basically said, hey, we're making an Avengers game.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be... Based on the trailer, it looks like everything's destroyed and they say Avengers Reassemble. I don't know if they're doing a new generation, so a bunch of new superheroes, or if they're getting the old Avengers back together.
Well, it had there was Iron Man's arm, and there was Captain America's shield, and
yeah, and based on Iron Man's arm, something messed them up.
Oh yeah. But there's not.
whole
Apparently,
game.
there's not going to be. Apparently, that's all we're going to hear about it for this year.
Fun.
So we'll find out next year, I suppose, what is actually going on. But yeah, I mean, when that first came up, I'm like, oh, Disney. Oh no, they're not going to do something with Kingdom Hearts, are they? That was my first thoughts. Fortunately, it wasn't.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be they're just going to add Marvel superheroes to Kingdom Hearts 3, and don't forget to buy Kingdom Hearts 2.8, and then next year buy Kingdom Hearts 2.9, and then the year after that buy Kingdom Hearts 2.97. Yeah.
2.9.1.
And then 2.96, and then 2.982, and eventually we get 3. But it actually turns out to be 2.9947.
It's almost like Square Enix or Tetsuya Nomura or someone's like, hey, Gabe Newell, how much do you hate the number 3? I hate it quite a bit. What about you? Watch this.
The thing we have over here is like, hold my beer.
My beer.
Hold my beer. Hold the Masaki. You watch this.
But yes, there we go. All right, so we've now worked out the censorship is the worst thing to exist ever, and
it's annoying.
People.
It just
yeah. And
let people buy what they want.
Yeah, exactly. And don't listen to people who say oh, this video game character doesn't fit the way I think it does.
Yeah.
Because it's a video game character. The people who make it can do whatever the hell they want. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah, that's such a cool concept that nobody apparently can grasp.
It's like with everything. Don't like what you're seeing on TV? Turn it off. Don't like what
Exactly.
you're listening to on the radio? Don't listen to it.
Hey, this song is shit. Luckily, there's this off switch.
Luckily, I can just flip the channel. But there we go.
I closed the Skype call, but you'd be upset with me if I did that.
Don't give away the secret.
Oh no, our low-tech methods.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sold company secrets. Are you gonna fire me?
Yes,
Censor me,
you're
bro.
fired. Beep.
Yeah, just censor that out right there. Okay. Seriously, censor it. Do it. You won't.
Quit giving me more work to do.
Censor, baby.
Anywho, that's it for us this week.
All right.
We'll come at you next week with either some more rage or maybe something fun.
Yeah, hopefully something interesting comes out in the news next week. Thanks for listening. Check us out at the various websites in the description, on social media and all that jazz. Hopefully there should be some more videos coming up in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I think that's everything.
All right. See you all later.
Bye.
Later.